Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be telling a story. It's called the Goldilocks and the Elephant. And I need to tell the story ahead of time so that we do not waste our class sessions on um, telling the story. And it's a really good story because I reference Goldilocks quite a bit and the elephant. And by the way, not many people know about the story of Goldilocks and what the moral and implications are. So I decided to tell, the first one is Goldilocks. Once upon a time, there was the three bears. They were having dinner. Of course, most everybody knows the story. So I'm going to go really fast. The three bears were having dinner and the porch was too hot to go off for a walk. Goldilocks comes inside, she's hungry. She tries Mama Bear's porch, it's too hot. Papa Bear's porch is too cold. And the baby bear's is just right. And then she eats all the porch, and then she decides to, she gets really tired, so she goes to the living room. She sits down, and Mama Bear's chair is too hard, Papa Bear's is too soft, Baby Bear's is just right. Everybody usually knows that part. And the third part is she goes to bed upstairs. She's really tired. She sees that the Mom Bear's bed is too big, Papa Bear's is too small, Baby Bear's is just right. And then the ending differs quite a bit. The bears come back, they eat her alive, the bears come back, she eats them alive, the bears come back, they kick her out, the bears come back, da 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 da, etc. etc. What's the moral of the story? Not many people know there's actually lots of little side morals, but the main moral of the story is what's just right for you. Whatever your SAT scores are going to be, and whatever, how hard you've worked, what your brain power is made up of, you blame that on your parents, and what kind of courses you've taken in high school, as well as how fast you can quickly think of numbers, or how prolifically you read. It's going to depend on your SAT score. And so let's say, for instance, your goal is 2100 and you got a 1700. That's a 400-point jump. That's pretty high. But let's say, for instance, that you're going to work really hard and make that 1800. That's a better score. So you went from 1800 and you're trying to get up to a 2100, and that's your goal. Well, everybody's goal is going to be different. What's just right for you may not be right for someone else. That's the moral of the story. What kind of job you have, and what's the right job for you, will be dependent on what kind of personality you have. And that's what makes you so unique. So we're trying to always calibrate things until we get it just right. Oh, that reminds me, calibration. Calibration means an adjustment process. So when I talk about Goldilocks, it's an adjustment process in mathematics, because that's what we're talking about, is math. So calibration is really, really important. And so when I talk about Goldilocks story, you're going to calibrate numbers on the SAT for math portion per se, or you're going to calibrate numbers when you're calculating some information set until you get it just right. Okay? So that's the story of Goldilocks. The second story is the story of the elephant. Once upon a time, again, it's a fable that was told in India quite a bit long time ago, and it's in poem phase. And I reference the elephant quite a bit as well. The story of the elephant goes something like this. Three blind men, there was this king inside this faraway land, once upon a time, of course. And he found out, there was some rumors that stated that there was this something inside this dark cave. So he commissioned three blind men to go inside this dark cave to figure out what it was. And the blind men went in, and they felt around, and then they came back to the king and goes, "Your Highness, I felt this like walls inside this dark cave." And the second blind man comes back and goes, "Your Highness, I felt this like waterfall inside this dark cave." Third blind man comes back and goes, "Your Highness, I felt this like tree trunk inside this dark cave." What was actually inside the dark cave? Well, of course, obviously, it was the elephant. You're saying, how is it the elephant? Kind of doesn't make sense. Well, his body part was so huge that it felt the sides or something, and he felt that it was only a wall. The second blind man felt actually the nose or the snout spouting water, and so he thought it was a waterfall. And the third thought that it was a tree trunk because he felt the leg and it was so huge he thought it was a tree trunk. Well, obviously it's the elephant. The moral of the story, there's several morals to the story. The main one though that we're looking at in an English sense or the literary sense is it's the perspective that you have. Some people have different perspectives, and you have to agree to disagree sometimes. So sometimes you don't have a concrete answer, but depending on how much support you have, say, oh, I believe that it's a snake because I felt the fourth blind man felt the tail, or the fifth blind man thought it was a fan because he felt the ears pulling back and forth. So just as long as you support it correctly in a literary sense, you are never 100% wrong. What is the best answer though is how much more support you can have. We're not talking about the literary sense, we're talking about the elephant in the mathematical sense. In mathematics, there's only one correct answer. When you attack it this way, when you look at it from this perspective, that perspective, that perspective, that perspective, you should always get the same elephant, no matter what. You can go, so let's look at this easy problem right over here. X plus 3 is equal to 5, let's say. Well, you can look at this perspective differently. You can say, oh, minus 3 to both sides, then x equals 2. Oh, there's your answer right over there. Well, you can look at it from a different perspective. You can just say, 1 plus 3 is 5. Obviously, x equals 2. So depending on how you attack the problem, how you approach the problem, you're going to work the problem a little bit differently, but you still are going to get the same answer, which is x equals 2. That's the same with the SAT for math portion as well. When you look at SAT problems, most of the SAT problems can be attacked 3 or 4 different ways. We're going to see the elephant in many different forms. For math, especially when you get into higher math, such as pre-calc, honors, or calculus, AB or BC, as well as in life, you're going to have many different solutions. But in math, there's only one solution, and that's going to be whatever x equals 2 is. So that's the story of the elephant. When I reference the elephant quite a bit, I reference elephant quite a bit more than the Goldilocks story, because Goldilocks is usually just for the SAT, but the elephant is used quite a bit in terms of how to approach the problem from a different perspective. So I hope you got that, and so next time we talk about the elephant, I'm sure that you will all know what it is. Thank you. Bye.